On my all hearing my last videos, he said there is a one common problem people are facing, especially the men, and nobody talks about it. So, sir, today you talk about the problem of impotence. I said, okay. So, my friend, several articles written by the ladies I have read, and I have also several women. They've asked me if anything can be done for the impotence that comes to many men in middle life. One woman who writes feelingly and intently and certainly anonymously, and she says that I feel that I am sleeping with a stranger. A good night kiss seems too much to even ask from the husband. If a man is not smart enough, my friend, to understand a woman's nature, no wonder the divorce courts are full all over the world. More in the Western, if not so much here in Eastern world. Some of the women who are still highly sexed in their 40s or 50s miss a sexual life, while others say that although they can easily put with the lack of sexual life in itself, they cannot easily put up with the lack of any signs of affection on the part of their husband. Very right. So often, an important man fails even to kiss his wife or to caress her in any way. The man retires to his room, to his own bed, or and then the couple lives like this, lives like exactly like I feel brother and sister. So sad. And in our part of the country, they say after some time they start looking also like a brothers and sisters. How strange. One lady says that wife abhors the thought of being just a house keeper to the man she loves. My friend, impotence is not normal, and it is not normal for us to be forced to accept it. No matter how much we love the lady says, love our husbands, a man should be enlightened as to his responsibilities and to the keeping to his wife's love before he loses it. And when you hear these women and read about such things, so often in such cases, the wife begs her husband to go to a physician to see if anything can be done. Usually, not only does the man refuses to do this, but he refuses even to listen or even to discuss on this subject. In this behavior, I think such men are unfair and unwise. Absolutely. Although it is true that in most cases a physician cannot help, all he can do is to discuss the psychological factors and nothing else. Perhaps he can try to affect of male hormones. Unfortunately, when the important man's troubles are psychic in origin and he has all the male hormones, he needs the taking of more. It just cannot help, I suppose. It just cannot. In hundreds of cases, you write the share a height reports. It's a full compendium. It's available in the net also. I think it's a great research on the history on the subject. I found that a man who inherited from psychotic ancestors a tendency towards moodiness, a great shyness, and great self-centeredness, and such marked hypochondria that he spends a good part of his life worrying about his health and going to doctors. Had no energy left for a reasonable, acceptable sexual relations. My friend, perhaps it was impossible for him to love anyone deeply. Many a man of this type will say that even in his youth he didn't care much for girls and seldom took one out. He did not know what to say to them and he had to spare energy to waste on them. Often such men have told and confessed that what little interest they had in sex was gone by the time they had reached 40. No age. In many cases, the wife has allowed herself to get stout and unattractive, or perhaps she herself has failed to show much affection. Perhaps she is willing to show some affection only once or twice a month, and this has caused her husband to turn against her. In many cases of this type, the husband's sexual drive also was never strong, and hence, perhaps what little drive he had was gone during his 40s. Oftentimes, if his wife has remained a good sexual partner, he might have gone on being educated for a number of years. You read these statistics, everything is available these days in the net. If you read the authentic books, these reports, you find that 52% of men over 40 suffer from this issue. You call it impotency, you call it erectile dysfunction or ED. And the most worrying part of this 50% is that 25% are young, even less than 40. Definitely there are medical and psychological solutions to both of it, but let me tell you, any medical solution has a side effect. Psychological solutions also partially effective. How about, I feel there are much natural solutions to treat to make this erectile dysfunction from a psychological point of view or a medical point of view. It's critical to have, my friend, I think, healthy blood vessels functioning and a strong cardiovascular system. And a soldier, as an army, is wonderful. It has taught me that there are certain fundamental things to help to build a healthy cardiovascular system and let your blood flow in your veins with a reasonable pressure and effect. And these are very simple things I recommend. Firstly, I think a better diet. Simply avoid sugar and processed food. Because sugar and processed food, it causes oxide deficiency, blocks the bloody vessels. Besides a better diet, one must exercise regularly. The exercise regularity is a key factor in keeping your cardiovascular system intact and going. Physical activity, my friend, strengthens your vascular functions like anything else. You run for 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers, and you see how the heart pumps and how things get clear. And that's the reason why the Baba Ramdev claims that no allopathy has got any solution to BP or the maybe diabetes, but he has by Ayurveda and the naturopathy. So I said a better diet, exercising regularly, and then cold exposure. You see, cardiovascular constriction, hence it improves the cardiovascular system. It is a powerful internal gymnastics for your blood vessels, and ultimately I feel reduce stress as much as possible. An erection is a parasympathetic phenomenon. So if you have a hyper stimulated sympathetic nervous system, this cuts off the blood flow to the penis. Also, my remember, these stress hormones can cause erectile dysfunctions. Remember, humans are the most privileged creatures on the planet Earth because of their ability to enjoy sex for pleasure and not just for biological purposes. If you're affected by erectile dysfunction, don't miss out on this natural and free opportunity to have pleasure I just suggested. No need to suffer or run unnecessarily. My friend, enjoy sex and enjoy life. Thank you very much.